Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Conversation Pit podcast. I am your host, Paul Riley. With me again, as should be always, but not always, is my co-host, William Hardiman.
That was a convoluted way of saying that.
He's slamming some chicken tendies at the moment, but how you doing, Will?
Good, I'm going to buy a sword.
Damascus steel.
Damascus steel.
And we'll get into that in a bit. Back at it again with Under Armour slip-ons, Mr. Ryan Nee.
It's a very weird thing to point out about what I'm wearing right now, especially in this as an audio medium instead of visual.
Well, I'm trying to paint a picture in the mind's eye.
I mean, it's good to be back, as always.
Good to have you. Ryan. And finally, after so much trying, this goes back to the jerks of all trades. Ryan and Will know all about that. The predecessor, the omen.
We tried to discuss movies and failed miserably. Yes.
Miserably. Well, it wasn't so bad.
No,
but
it wasn't that bad.
PJ's been trying to get on this thing for a bit. Finally, we have him. We've been able to nail it down and make it happen. Mr. PJ Moriarty.
Thank you for having me. I was a big fan when it first started. I wasn't on, but I was a jerk off. I was really excited for everything, and
it's like
we kept trying. We kept trying to get that jerk going, and we just kept trying to jerk it, but
nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
So we took off the rubber glove and said, you know what? If you're not going to help, fuck it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for shooting blanks, but I'm just happy to be here.
I like our three fans. I like to call them Sherm doers.
Oh, we talked about this. The Sherm doers.
The Sherm doers.
Well, I don't really even know where to start. PJ, you said you wanted to go on a tangent with the Bad Batch.
Yes.
I have to preface it by saying I've never seen your show.
You have a Disney Plus login now. It's not even mine, but you have one.
Yeah, but when am I going to go to Disney Plus when I could go to HBO Max?
Okay, we can talk about an HBO show if we want.
Succession is
in my opinion,
amazing. Also a good show, but in my opinion, one of the most underrated TV shows that came out and was on HBO was Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, Buscemi, yeah. I haven't seen it. It's been suggested. I think you had suggested it to me on several occasions.
So it is about 20s gangsters, and it's about the Prohibition and stuff like that, and it introduces...
Isn't Al Capone in it?
Al Capone is in it, but he's a minor character. So it revolves around a gangster who
they made his withered brain from syphilis.
Yeah. So they basically just create a new character, and they revolve the series around it, and it's honestly... It's kind of like it had the same thing that Game of Thrones has. So I'm just wondering if the writers at HBO just can't finish, because it started off amazing, but then towards the end it just kind of was like, wasn't the best show. Like the last season and a half.
Last season of Game of Thrones.
Oh my
God. That was weak.
I remember
source material and
they stopped using Roman swipes.
I know. I remember watching the last episode of Game of Thrones. And it was actually the first ever episode I watched on time. Like, it was the first time I ever sat down and watched something from Game of Thrones at a premiere. And I'm like, that's it? Like, for those who haven't seen it, the show really just gave you a curveball with who ends up being on the Iron Throne. And it was just like...
Who has a better story?
Hey, listen, I won internet points in the Reddit that I was on, subreddit that I was on about who wins the throne. Because technically, like... I chose the chaos option, I guess. Like, they allowed that to be the win. I don't want to spoil anything. I mean, it's been out for long enough now.
I'm also like, you can't be on the internet and not know, especially at the time. Spoilers are unavoidable for Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you should know how it ends. Don't watch the ending. Watch the first 7 seasons, then just stop and look it up. Because it's not worth the time.
I'll tell you, I know exactly when I realized Game of Thrones was not going to stick the landing. It's when...
You're my queen.
Episode 1, season 1.
Yeah.
1 minute in.
Yeah. No, they, the Greyjoys had their own little thing going on where, the brother and the sister are like...
The sister fucked.
Yeah, she did. Thanks for the insightful commentary. They're like running away from the Pirates of the Caribbean ripoff guy. I can't even remember characters.
Oh, Euron Greyjoy.
Yeah, they're running away from Euron. And then, like, he catches up with them in the ocean, and he, like, drops his gangplank, and he's riding the gangplank.
I know what you're talking about. Like,
and
that giant fight scene.
Yeah, so they have a fight scene on the water, and the effects, because they're all surrounded by fire. I think the ship got lit on fire or something, and so, like, there's particle effects around them of, like, wisps of fire. and it looks so cheap. And the smoke is bad. Like, you could tell they just didn't integrate the CGI very well. And that's when I said, wow, they're not putting the emphasis where they should. This is going to be a real problem. And I knew this, like, the story, they were never going to satisfy fans. I had the luxury of, I jumped on Game of Thrones, like, the summer it leading into when Game of Thrones was going to finish. So I had started it during senior week when you were a senior, Will, because I was still on campus. So I got a login, and I watched season 1, episode 1 all the way up, and I, like you, PJ, caught up with the finale right when the finale came out. So I think maybe if I was with it for longer, I felt satisfied by it, but I knew that, like, fans of this show would feel cheapened out for having been on the ride, because it definitely was anticlimactic. But for me, I was just like, okay, cool, because it was just the flavor of the month kind of a thing for me. I didn't invest very much.
Yeah. I just like how those two guys, Dan and Dan, were going to write those Star Wars movies. And
I can't believe that just got... They pulled that.
Right out from under them.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately.
I mean, the only really good stuff that's going on for Star Wars right now is The Mandalorian, which is extremely successful, but then also The Bad Batch. I mean, I know it's kind of under the radar, and Disney hasn't really done a good job of, like, really broadcasting and, like...
with their, like, 80 Marvel shows that have come out
that's
been what they've really been pushing.
Yeah, they've been pushing Marvel and stuff, but The Bad Batch has just been amazing.
I think my Star Wars fan fiction, honestly, can ignite Star Wars.
You're looking at me like I know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. I never talked about that before. Yeah, I write Star Wars.
A lot of what you say, I hear
I write Star Wars.
Yeah, I register it in the moment, and then I'm just like, this isn't important information. I just throw it out.
Wow.
So is this like fan fiction, like not safe for work Star Wars fan fiction?
I mean, it depends on what you want. I do customs.
Darth Maul and the Emperor sitting in a tree.
Oh man,
they're kissing on each other's lightsabers.
I have a good one.
Where they're Darth sword Maul fighting with the sabers.
With the Darth Maul and the Emperor take a trip to P-Town. It's a pretty good one. I wrote that for somebody. Okay. I don't know, Carl, if you're out there, I hope you enjoyed it. That's the kind of mode that I go on.
Down.
Like Bear, what's the famous Bears Week in P-Town? It revolved around that event.
You know, it's funny, now that I'm thinking about it, that double-bladed lightsaber is probably compensating for something.
Yeah, I mean...
He has a small penis.
Yeah, the
Dothraki people
don't
have a Dothraki.
Back to the prequels, what a waste of a character in the movies.
Darth Maul? Oh,
man.
Yeah.
Like,
they should have known they had something. Like, come on.
I don't know, and maybe Lucas planned all of that. Maybe he's using his mind.
Jar Jar was supposed to be the villain. Change my mind.
Jar Jar is still the villain. He's the one that gave the Emperor all the power.
Misa
we need an emergency.
Misa give the Emperor emergency powers. Misa make the Emperor a tyrant. Misa make the Chancellor a tyrant. Misa not a Sith
Lord.
Lord.
Emergency powers run.
Yeah. No, you know what's also great too about the prequels is the one redeeming quality I think for Episode 1 was the battle droids were actually, they weren't meant to be comical. They were actually, like, intelligent, and it was, like, actually interesting to see them kind of work.
I have a hot take. I hate the idea of the Clone Wars, like, I think that they did a better job of fleshing out in, like, the Clone Wars TV show, but in terms of Episode 1 to 3, it's just faceless soldiers fighting each other. I should say 2 and 3. Like, the clones could very well just be robots for... like the little amount of personality they
Commander
give them.
Cody is in the Utapau.
Yeah, but that's one guy.
Yeah, that's
true.
It.
In Episode 4, they have stormtroopers, which are
Rex is not even mentioned.
In Episode
Rex
4, they have
retconned in Return of the Jedi.
In Episode 4, they have stormtroopers ensure like they can basically be robots, but also they are just massacring human beings, people that look like you and me. As soon as they put that helmet on, it just doesn't... I don't feel any connection. And the droids are literally robots, so, like, who gives a fuck?
I think that there was, like... Stormtroopers are people, too.
I'm not saying they're not, but I'm saying that, like, you know...
George Lucas, you criminal.
They tried to make it a political, like, trilogy of movies, and then they were like, we need to make this, like, a war trilogy of
Watto.
movies. And it was somewhere, like...
Watto might be one of the most racist movie characters of all time.
Really?
I put them up there with Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's. He's up there with him.
What's his... Mr. Yoshi or something?
Yes, that character. That and Watto.
No, I think the character from South Park. Mr. whatever his name he owns.
Washy
City
Wash.
Wash. Yeah.
Washy Washy.
No,
Mr.
he,
Washy Washy, yeah.
no, I think that's from Family Guy.
That is
Oh,
Family
that's
Guy.
Family Guy. Oh,
No,
the guy
he's always
from-
like
'cause he has the dry
he's always
cleaner,
like
and
damn
Peter thinks he was
Mongolians,
the
and
shit.
he builds the wall. He builds the Great Wall of
Yeah,
China.
and he owns
in
the
South Park.
China.
Yeah,
he owns the
come to
Chinese
Shitty Walk
restaurant.
or
Come
whatever.
to Shitty Walk. That guy's the most racist character I've ever seen.
Watto
in a
is
TV show.
definitely up there because it's just really anti-Semitic, and
Yeah.
obviously that has like a twinge of disgusting, like slime to it.
No, well, I think what it was is that Phantom Menace was clearly the Phantom Menace was clearly an analytical think piece about 90s politics. You have the Intifada on Tatooine. You have the Trade Federation, which at the beginning of the 90s, Japan was seen as this sort of trade power in the East.
Well, considering they make all the Nemodians basically Japanese people and Chinese people.
they're like evil, like Japanese corporation from like an anime.
Yeah, it's
You
so
know,
bad.
it's just a 90s, it's just his version of a 90s political analysis, and it comes out like a movie that was written by David Duke with aliens in it. So, I mean, hey, hats off to George Lucas. I know him and Spielberg were probably in a tough place when he wrote Watto. I mean...
Yeah, how does that work? Because Spielberg's like his boy, right?
Yeah, and
Did
he
Spielberg
was just-
not be like,
maybe
George...
Spielberg encouraged it. Maybe Spielberg's pro-Palestine and was like, maybe this will shed some light on the Intifada.
Yeah, he
But-
makes Schindler's List, which is one of the most powerful pro-Jewish movies in history, and then he says, you know what, yeah, you can spit in the face of my entire group. That's fine.
No, he
Actually-
could have had a change of heart.
But so getting off that rough topic, let's.
So then they learned from their mistakes of the prequels and actually gave the clones like identity.
In the
Big
Clone
part-
Wars show,
is a big
which
part
is
of
the
Clone
best
Wars.
part
That's
of
like
that
the
show.
premise of the Clone
That's the
Wars
best
show
part of that
is,
show.
Like, let's
And
actually
then-
deep dive.
Yeah, and then very early on in like the first season, I think it's like the 6th episode too. They have an episode where there's a clone who's just a traitor, and he talks about being enslaved by the Republic, and it's like, looking back, it's like a very deep episode that basically goes on about the state of the clones in the Republic Army, and it's just like, this is supposed to be a kid's show. We're bringing up these topics to like
Yeah.
a show, because this show came out like 10 years ago. It was like,
Didn't it come on though? It
Aired
would come on.
air on Cartoon Network.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was right before
Like
Adult
it
Swim would
switches
come
to
on.
Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an 8 o'clock start.
Like the faux Toonami, like.
Yeah, it was
like-
like it was like post Toonami where they would show Dragon Ball Z in that time slot.
Yeah.
They showed.
Yeah.
Remember that little alien dude with the helmet that would like talk about Toonami being like the spaceship?
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
the lead-in for
Oh,
Toonami.
Yeah.
Yoda.
No, not quite.
Death Note, very good.
Can you imagine Yoda if he was in any other like type of
Bleach.
media? Like imagine Yoda being like on The Bachelor. Or like a show like that.
Naruto, you like
I
weed?
mean, just read the fanfic and get that.
Rose you will not receive.
Dragon Balls, you must get. Tax fraud, I will commit.
I have stupid in stereo. I'm getting it from both sides.
Itapawa wata Candace right?
Okay, can we do the Java thing?
Do the Java?
All right.
Do you want to unveil the Java
So,
thing?
ladies and gentlemen, this actually, we're going to cut into the episode here because I have a very special guest. All the way from Tatooine via satellite phone, Jabba the Hutt. He is, as I understand it, the leader of one of the great crime syndicates in the galaxy. And I understand that you have a few pieces of vital galactic information you wanted to share. Specific, what, critical race theory?
Putawararawa critical race theory Marxism? Otapawa aka stolen election? Otakawa Joe Biden aka nawa not a president?
What do you think about Carrie Fisher's untimely demise?
Utawawa had it coming atabawa mga. Utakawa no love akabawa taradoma.
Do you think she was friends with Jeffrey Epstein?
Utapawa probably akatawa umba. Kawa Jimmy Buffett aratawa Jeffrey Epstein ukatawa namba Carrie Fisher? Harrison Ford akatawa numba Jeffrey Epstein.
Harrison Ford flies a lot, I understand.
Utapawa Lolita Express?
Anything else, Jabba, before we let you go?
Utakawa Marxism, Atakawa America, Utakawa end to the Republic?
What did you think of the January 6th riot?
Utakawa Antifa thug, Utakawa George Soros, Utakawa pay?
Was the FBI involved? He's pausing. He just looked over his shoulder. He's worried, the armed guards might turn on him.
Utakawa J. Edgar Hoover Akabawa crossdresser, Utakawa Namba FBI involvement Atapawa Ancha.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Jabba. Go back to running drugs across the galaxy. I have to be honest, fellas. That was, for satellite phone from another planet, not bad. Sounded like
it was really good audio.
Sounded like he was right in the room.
A long time ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Right
In
there.
a galaxy far, far away.
We had a trans medium cell phone.
I mean, let's be real though. Tatooine's got 2 suns. Their solar panels and shit. They're on it.
Oh yeah, they get great power. We love the solar.
Great sand over there too.
Oh, so much of it.
All right.
It's everywhere.
That was a nice talk.
Yeah, I'm surprised we've been able to get such high-profile guests. Will.
Dude, we had Donald Trump and Jabba the Hutt.
I know.
Podcast is going places.
Yeah,
we
dude.
really are.
We're not as fledgling as Donald, as this do-rag donning.
I'm just saying, sure, we got the president himself from the Winter White House, but we just got an intergalactic drug lord from 10,000 years ago. Okay, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And next week you'll have Lou Holtz.
How about Lou Williams?
Couldn't get...
Right, Ryan, we got to talk about Atlanta.
Maybe-
Let's chat about Atlanta.
Oh my god.
Magic
Atlanta.
City.
Did you guys come home from it and do a podcast?
No, we didn't record.
we haven't done one.
When we got home, I crashed so hard. I slept for like
Then what was
5
the Lou...
hours.
When did you guys record
talked
the Lou
about it-
Williams podcast?
We talked about it beforehand.
Oh.
We did one the night before.
Ah.
Monta Chawa,
I know
Magic
the-
City, break bubble, shababa.
Dude, Jabba the Hutt definitely wasn't wearing a mask during COVID. I think he was he had multiple super spreader events at his club. That's what he was telling me before he got on the interview.
Was that?
He was telling me before he got on the interview that he
In the
was-
green room?
In the green room, that he was having multiple super spreader events.
Oh.
Um,
So we just got like,
and he
if there's
said-
the Delta variant and the Lambda variant, what's the Tatooine variant?
he got the
called?
Nalhada variant.
Nalhada?
Yeah, because that's where he's from. That's where the
The
Hutts
Hutts
are from.
Yeah.
It's Nalhada.
Okay.
Have a Disney Plus login. Let's get on it.
You would know about his little child and then the child's poopy diapers.
Oh, that's in the movie.
Yeah. It's in the movie and then
Yeah,
they
he
flush
makes-
out more in the show too.
Yeah, because what's his face?
The movie and the show, like, it's a weird...
The movie is 3 episodes of the show strung together. I know this.
Yeah, and it's like a weird, like, because they do, in the show, they do the weird we talked about. It's arcs, not, like, a coherent timeline.
Yeah, it's not A to
So, like,
it's not A to B.
Yeah.
And then some episodes also.
He also had some stuff to say about his brother, whose name I forget. I don't know.
Zero the Hutt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
Zero. So
He's kind of got a little.
yeah, he
he's
had
got
some
an edge
not
to
so
him.
nice things to say about him and the community that he is a part of, and that's as far as we'll go. I'm not repeating.
No, let's-
Coruscant lifestyle.
He said things. I would say if Paul, you would be. It would be reminiscent of an Al Sharpton or a Louis Farrakhan type speech.
Is that it?
Yeah, he said something about the Greeks. I don't know what he's been reading, honestly. Like Donald Trump, I think Jabba the Hutt has upped his IQ about 150 points. He told me that he had read a book that can only be translated as My Struggle.
And on that note,
He's thinking
so Atlanta.
about supporting
There's no translation.
he's thinking about time traveling and supporting a failed Austrian art student. So I mean if that's what you got to know about what Jabba the Hutt is up to. You can listen to his radio show. He has an Alex Jones style radio show.
Yeah, actually, no. I think he started out on Jones, and then he went with Bannon to the War Room for a bit, and then his time slot got given away to Mike Lindell of My Pillow fame. So Jabba just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna."
Oh,
do
so
my
that's
own
why
thing.
he kept talking about people smoking crack and inventing pillows.
Yeah.
He was very upset about that. Also said some
That's
things
the thing
about
ab-
Zero's community that I will not repeat about Mike Lindell.
No, he can speak for himself at that point. But the Lindell thing is interesting. I know a lot of people on Twitter are very confused as to why Mike Lindell would believe such insane shit about Donald Trump and the election and whatnot. But if you remember the fact that he's an actual crack addict,
Oh, was. Give him
Former.
Former. Okay,
I mean, would you say that? It has changed his brain chemistry. This is a result of his crack addiction. That's all I'm trying to say.
I mean, I kind of like Hunter's art, and it's a part of his crack addiction.
Hunter S. Thompson?
No, Hunter Biden. Dude,
Hunter S. Biden?
Hunter S. Biden.
Moving on.
Fear and Loathing. Fear and Loathing in Beijing. That's the name
Fear and Loathing in the Ukraine. Fear and Loathing at... What's the name of that company? Fear and Loathing at Burisma? Yep.
Oh, my
Yep.
God.
There we are. There we are.
That was a moment that went over everyone's head.
Oh, you
No
know,
one needs- no one
we
cares.
got hardcore fans that'll know.
Yeah.
So Atlanta.
So Atlanta, when I got home, it was like 4 in the afternoon. I was like, I'm gonna take a nap. I woke up at 7:30, had like a sandwich, and went back to bed and woke up at like 6 in the morning. I knocked after Atlanta. That was a long weekend.
Yeah.
That I spent down there.
It doesn't help that we had to be up and out for our flight at like 6, and we
Yeah.
fell asleep at like 3.
Yeah, that was not the best planning, but
No, I mean,
That's
we didn't
fine.
plan most of that. Just kind of... The only thing we had was going to the game.
which also that was kind of a tough spot for that game. I wish it was like either earlier in the day or later in the day, and kind of 3 o'clock was kind of like a tough, or like 4 o'clock.
5.
5. Being there at 4 for the 5 o'clock game was kind of a tough like window
Yeah.
to get anything done, especially when we were tired the night before.
Well, we didn't do anything that we couldn't.
Yeah, we couldn't do anything when we landed, so we got in late, and then by the time we actually got to the Airbnb, it was late. And like the next day,
And when we
put
got
the
them
sun
lemon
in.
pepper wings.
Those wings were good.
Oh, man.
I go back and forth on if it was like 100% worth it to get them Uber Eats than like pay all those delivery fees, but they're good wings.
So, for context, how many was it? 8 jumbo wings or
I
something?
think we had a dozen.
So let's say it was 10. Let's say it was a
let's
dozen.
Just call it a dozen. Yeah.
They were $20 a piece. So I got a thing of wings and a chicken sandwich that was also $20. He got a thing of wings. Lukey B got a thing of chicken and waffles. And so it was an expensive foray. And I knew for a fact we weren't going, even though Magic City was like 2 blocks away. I wasn't going that much deeper into
That was
Vine
like the-
Park.
That's like in like an underpass. Like that. Like if you see pictures of that place, like there's like nothing around it. It's like kind of like on its own like area. Like not really accessible for us just to walk to.
Yeah. Not that I would want to. But, the Waffle House,
Waffle House
oh.
is very good.
That was amazing. The beer garden strudel. I wish you got some of that, dude.
Yeah,
You would have loved
The
that.
milkshake was good. I mean, it was basically 3 meals, but
What did you? I mean, do you eat strudels? No.
not like regularly. No.
I don't even think there's around here that you can get strudel.
This was a traditional German beer garden, literally called Der Biergarten. It was like officially
You get the
partnered
boot-
with.
You get the boot.
Yeah, you could get das Boot.
Ooh.
Will's pumping iron in the back. I
I
see.
think Jabba the Hutt would like a German beer garden after his new readings.
And then
The sacred texts.
The sacred texts. And then going to the game, I have to say I'm very jealous.
Oh my
of
God.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium compared
Yeah.
to Gillette Stadium.
Yep.
I now understand that our stadium is 20 years old.
And my
And
what
you
a
feel, and it feels, and it
yeah,
feels
like the
And-
advances in just stadium design alone, nothing else other than how they place the seats and the retractable roof and the way that they design it so the sound amplifies. I mean, it's like an amphitheater more than a stadium.
The
I think it would be
the
great.
The ring board, like I mean,
Oh my
obviously
God,
it's a
that was
dome.
sick.
It's a dome, so you can't do this in an open air stadium. It had the ring. And
Attaboy,
there goes,
Will.
And there goes the mic. This
Sorry,
is
headphone
amazing.
users.
We're sorry for
But
everything that you just
in the
heard.
roof, they have a circular jumbotron screen that you can kind of see like the inside of if you're looking at it. Incredibly clear too for being on the roof of the dome.
Well, yeah, that was reminiscent of the new board in Gillette.
I was just gonna say, Gillette, the new board at Gillette is incredible.
That is jaw-droppingly clear. Have you seen that? Have you been to a
No,
game
no.
since they put the? Oh
No.
my God, this new
Yeah.
board is like
So,
you can watch the game from there without any delay, and
Yeah.
you can see everything.
and I'm going to Gillette the first week of the NFL season. I'm going
Right, you need to tell
home
me
opener.
about because you're wearing the Dolphins shirt.
Okay.
You just get all that out of your system.
Okay. So hello everybody. My name is PJ,
It's not the PJ podcast.
and I'm here to confess that I am a Dolphins fan.
Recovering Dolphins fan.
I've never been recovering. We need to win in order to recover. So,
Well, the recovery is that you're getting, like, you're turning into kind of a
They
wagon.
haven't won since Ace
A
Ventura
wagon?
Pet Detective.
yeah, we haven't won really since that. We had 3 great seasons. We had one where we basically lucked into a really weak-ass schedule, and we played some of the worst teams in the league, and we had a decent O-line, and we just ran the entire year. It was actually it was a couple years ago, it was 2016, was the only time I can remember being a Dolphins fan, being able to watch a Dolphins playoff game in my life. And I had to work, and I can get into that later about what I do.
Yeah,
But-
I do want to, because you have a
Yeah.
very interesting work story.
Oh, I've got a couple of them that we'll get
Well,
into in a
I meant
second.
just like the whole,
Yeah,
the timeline of things.
I had to work on this Sunday, so we have a really shitty radio down where we do majority of our operations, and I'm hogging this radio for 3.5 hours, and I barely got the signal to the point where it was just static, and I would hear every now and then 5-yard pass or sacked or something like that. And I remember the head of my department walking in. I had finished my work, so I'm just hovered by the radio, and she's like, "What are you trying to do?" And then I hear, quarterback fumbles at the 4-yard line, and Pittsburgh recovers, and Miami loses it right on the red zone. Let me tell you something. Watching the highlights of that game afterward, I actually almost cried.
It wouldn't shock me.
So yeah, I'm actually, as we're filming this, I'm wearing a throwback orange Ricky Williams Dolphins jerseys for the fans out there who would know. Run Ricky Run, Smoke Ricky Smoke. But I guess we can kind of just transition into, because he was kind of leewaying into it, what I do. So I am somebody who has a very unique career path. I work with a large variety of animals. So I can be classified as a zookeeper, a lab animal tech, keeper of a lot of different animals, and I work at a local aquarium, I work at a wolf sanctuary, I work at a couple of different places in the past, and working there's a lot of interesting things that you would never expect to be done. And honestly, my favorite stories are sometimes not even working with the animals, it's working with the public, because you get some of the...
They're the real animals.
Oh my god, you get some of the greatest stories ever.
Dude, the Wolf Sanctuary furries.
Oh, I'll get into the Wolf Sanctuary in a sec, but one of my favorite stories I like to
This
tell
is definitely furries.
is I've worked in various departments in this aquarium that I've been at, and...
people know we're from the Boston area, so you can...
So I was in a... I
appreciate the attempt at
At
keeping
the Mystic
it discreet.
Aquarium. You're in the Mystic
At some
Aquarium.
aquarium somewhere.
It's some aquarium deep in the bowels of Mr. Connecticut.
A long time ago, an aquarium far, far away. So,
He was at the Now Hutter Aquarium.
yeah. So we had an education department, and we had something that we would do. We would take these small, little jellyfish, and we just put them in a tube, and we just basically walk around with flashlights. They're for kids, just so you can. They're only in there for 20 minutes, and then you just show them, hey, this is what they look like up close. And I had these 2 guys walk up to us. They had to be in high school, and they've got the backwards hat, the long flowing hair, obvious stoners, and they walk up and they're just mesmerized. And the kid looks at me and looks back at the tube for 5 minutes, and he goes, "That is the coolest bong I have ever seen in my life." Deadass. Didn't even know how to respond. I'm just sitting there, and I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear that. And then we're in the middle of
This is a jellyfish.
yeah, no, exactly.
This lives in the ocean.
Yeah, I'm just
What is this? Are these drugs, man? Can I smoke these things?
You
So I'm
could,
just-
but you'd die.
No, but the best part is I just ignore him for a little bit, and then he just says it louder. He's like, "That is the coolest bug I've ever seen." And then I'm I have to explain to him now. I'm ah, crap. No, this is it's a tube full of jellies. I tell him a couple facts about him, and he's like, "Does that mean I can't smoke weed out of it?" No, doesn't mean that. He's
That's a kid who's never smoked weed before in his life.
Oh my god! And the face he made, he was genuinely upset that he couldn't smoke weed out of it. I'm
No, that kid's never smoked weed before in his life.
Yeah, it's all just a facade.
Yeah,
it's a
no,
put on.
It's a facade. It's a mask. It's like one of those masks that we all wear.
It's Jim Carrey in the mask. Somebody stop me!
Somebody stop me! I'm gonna smoke weed.
When you commit to the bit and you just have to keep going with it now. It's like
Will knows all about that.
Your buddy's there now, and like you gotta like show up and like act like you know what you're talking about.
Will knows all about committing to the bit. Overcommitting, may I say sometimes.
Overcommitting? What about me acting like Jerry Seinfeld for 48 hours?
I actually saw one of the greatest TikToks of my life. Is they took the theme to Jerry Seinfeld and they added "Numb" by Linkin Park, so it's just like the beginning. It's like, the Barrington Ant and that's just I've become so numb.
Was there a picture of Michael Richards there?
Yep.
He's probably pretty numb right about now.
I was gonna say,
and you could just see his eyes are deader than most people's careers at this point. It was just the funniest thing in the world.
I said a few things, and I'm not doing too good. Yep. Will's showing his Instagram around.
No. I'm showing my regular Instagram. Totally not a burner account I made to fulfill my sick fantasies of being a troll. No, nothing.
Totally not trying to buy a sword
Dude,
from Italy.
Well, let's see. I want to hear these stories about the wolves and stuff.
Okay.
Enough about me trying to buy Damascus steel.
I guess an interesting story too would be the first time I ever went into the wolf pen. So, big day. They're like, all right, we're gonna take you in, and wolves are pack animals. So, somebody's new in there. Obviously, they're gonna challenge that person. So I'm just standing there, just doing my thing, just keeping an eye on them. And I look at one to give her my attention, and all of a sudden, one of them jumps up and puts my arm against the fence, and he's holding on with his teeth, and he's not letting go. So my first thought is, well, this is the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. My second thought is, I need a new pair of shorts because I just shit my pants. And the third thought is, how the fuck do I get this thing off my arm? And we had like a good stare down because he's looking at me with his eye. We had a good stare down for probably like 5 minutes. And I finally just said, let go. Gotta let go now. Let go. And for whatever reason, he actually just hopped off. Most anticlimactic ending to that, but it was just like...
So were you bit? I'm confused.
I was bit, yeah. He put my arm against the wall.
Were you wearing sleeves or were you like bleeding?
He broke a little skin, but he was basically holding my arm in his mouth.
Paul, you want to reenact this right now for the podcast?
Yeah.
I'll bite you.
Yeah.
You gonna bite me?
If you're into that kind of thing.
What is this? What we do in the shadows? Like,
I'm going to make you a prepubescent vampire.
I want you to. Now you have AIDS. because
I
was the super spreader.
Oh my God.
At an event somewhere I won't say.
But Freddie Mercury was sitting there. He said he wanted to lick my taint.
I said, no, you died in a car accident. You're clearly a ghost.
You were never one of the gays.
Taking a big turn.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, if you guys didn't know that, he died in a car accident.
Yeah, he's very straight as can be.
Yeah.
Well,
Cars
cars are dangerous.
It was a terrible
That
movie.
little snippet right there actually brought up a great debate question in my mind. Which celebrity ghost do you think would be the best person to haunt you, and who would be the worst to haunt you?
Michael Jackson would probably be the worst.
That's a good one.
I would want Regis Philbin to haunt me. Hey, guys! You going to the Fighting Irish, Will? You gonna go to Notre Dame? See a game. I got Geldman here in hell with me. It's gonna be great.
Where's Kathy Ripa?
Where's Kathy Ripa? I heard she ripped one. Get it? It's a fat joke.
I think the best, in all honesty, would be Robin Williams, because every time you have a shit day, he's just there to go off, and he's just there to fucking...
I don't know, it would be really sad. Are you
okay
fucking
over
kidding me?
What is that?
Alright.
Can I see that?
Will...
Do you put that on your feet?
No, I use it in my shoes.
Okay.
I use it in my shoes.
I'm sorry.
He's going through my... Will's going through my shit, okay? He's touching... He's rummaging. He's looking at my scents. You know, he checked out my Versace cologne, my Polo Double Black. My deodorants, are those up to snuff?
No, I wanted to know what the Versace one smelled like, and then I just didn't stop looking.
And then
I
he
saw-
found this spray bottle of foot duster, foot deodorant from Manscaped, which I use in my sneakers because my sneakers tend to carry a bit of a scent.
I love how you have to explain this to us, like I've committed a crime against humanity.
You just exploded into this laughter.
Because my mind went somewhere completely different. I knew you sprayed it in your
Manscaped.
shoes.
I didn't know Manscaped made stuff for feet.
Yeah,
Make
I
it-
didn't know either until I was looking for something to spray in my
I
shoes.
thought it was gonna say balls duster, and I was gonna be
Ball
like,
duster.
that's kind of
They just
funny.
call it like crop duster.
Yeah.
They have like a name for it that's not
Yeah.
like at all subtle about what it is.
Oh, okay. And so, but I didn't expect the word foot to be there, and I kind of just reacted in the moment. I'm
No, I
sorry.
put that on
Paul.
my balls.
I'm glad your feet
Feet
smell nice.
buster on my
Hey,
balls.
you know what? I think men's health is important, but I'm sorry, I got a kick out of that.
That's how Ian Rappaport got suspended from NFL Network because he did a Manscaped commercial.
Really?
Yeah, or he was promoting it, and
That's
they
a
suspended
weak.
him.
That's a weak ass suspension.
You know,
Don't
the
they have
NFL
like
the NFL
predators working for there that are like former linebackers and shit? Is
Yeah,
Michael Irvin on NFL Network?
Yeah, but he
Dude,
was
she was 16.
Michael Irvin. But we can. The NFL is.
She
weird
was
when it-
16.
ESPN's got Ray Lewis bumping out there, so I mean.
No.
Yo, I murder people.
Hey, he's a Christian now. He's a born again. It's fine.
Dude, he smokes cigars. I'll give him a pass.
You get a pass for
Dude,
that.
he's been killing it up there though.
You know?
You know what's great though is you have Josh Gordon, who was suspended an entire year for weed,
Stupid.
and then you've got Ben Rapelessberger, only serving how many games was he suspended? Like
Ben
4 games?
Rapistberger.
I was once at a bar.
He forcibly kissed Stormy Daniels in the hallway in a hotel. This is a true story, if you believe that whore. She said it on an appearance on The View with Joy Behar.
Dude, I'm sorry, but if Ben Roethlisberger came up to me and I was Stormy Daniels, that'd probably be the worst assault.
Yeah, he sucks, huh?
So wait a minute. I have a question now. Since we're on Stormy Daniels, what was her extent of relationship with Donald Trump? I can never really
They
pin
just
that
hooked
down.
up.
They
just
had
sex.
sexual intercourse, and I believe there was a story that he had her spank him with a rolled up copy of like some magazine that had
Art of
his
the
face
Deal.
on the cover.
Out of the deals, spank me.
A copy of Art
Just
of
want
the
to
Deal.
kiss his own ass.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean,
He said she looked like Ivanka, from what I've read. But again, how much could you believe Stormy Daniels, you know?
Michael Avenatti, the creepy porn lawyer,
Porn lawyer.
the CPL dude.
I was so upset that they put him on TV as much as they did.
Michael Avenatti, I like him. I wish he was president. I wish he ran. So what we need is more chaos agents.
More agents of chaos.
More
We need
agents.
more Michael Avenattis and less Jeb Bushes.
Stormy
Dude,
Daniels,
no, but, like,
2024.
You know, Michael Avenatti never went to one of those Moloch meetings
I mean,
where they sacrifice children.
maybe after the Stormy Daniels thing. You know how much money he made off of that?
Yeah, but I don't think they ever let him into the club. He wasn't pure enough.
He's talking about sex with a woman who does porn.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow him in the Moloch club.
No.
You have to have the illusion of purity. to be
That's why
in the
Bill
Moloch.
Clinton's there, because of the illusion.
Yeah, the
Even though he's
illusion.
dirtier than Stormy.
They show up in hoods like Huma Abedin's mother.
What the hell?
What the hell?
I love Alex Jones. Just for the clips, man. He's hysterical.
God.
The rough one.
Joe Rogan.
Putting something in the water.
Turning the friggin' frogs gay.
It's an all-timer.
Yeah, that's an all-timer. Oh, she's a god. She's saving us. Get your hands off me, racist. Ah, he tears his shirt.
The Gudruk Dumarong battle.
We spent 2 years of our lives
Looking for what a Gudruk Dumarong battle
trying to
is.
figure out what
But
a
it's from
Gudruk-
Wagner.
It's
from Wagner.
yeah. It's a suite. It's the Gotterdammerung suite. It was the last thing that they played in Berlin, in the Berlin, I don't know if it's like a playhouse or a symphony orchestra,
Yeah.
but they played it as the Allies were marching on Berlin.
It's very
Gotterdammerung finale.
because
Gudruk
it's from-
Dumarong,
Because
excuse
it's
me.
from
Twilight of
Wagner's
the Gods,
Ring,
all right.
which is like what the Lord of the Rings is based on.
Oh, I thought, no, it's That play has to, I thought it was supposed to be about like apocalypse.
Aren't they bringing something back for Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, they are. They're doing a Amazon Prime show.
Yuck.
I don't know how I'm excited for it. I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. I'm skeptical.
Oh, I meant to mention this when we talked about HBO. I saw an incredible HBO limited series that I think would be particularly good for you three to watch and perhaps for our viewers. It's called Sharp Objects. It stars Amy Adams. It's like a psychological thing. She goes back to her hometown trying to solve like a murder. She's a reporter. And it's really, really, really well produced. It's got Eliza Scanlon in it, who I believe was in Little Women, the Greta Gerwig one. I don't know, it's maybe 6 episodes, an hour a piece. I literally binged it in an entire day. I just like started and couldn't stop. It's very dirty, very like southern, like swampy color palette, and a lot of greens and browns.
What?
What?
Swampy? Is it like True Detective?
I've never seen True Detective. What?
Swampy? Is it Bayou?
Yeah, it's like she goes to this house that her mom owns, and her mom is like old Confederate royalty. So they have this massive plantation, and like it's like kind of gilded American Gilded Age, like, you know, faux rich shit. Does that make sense? I mean, they're old money. They're definitely rich, but it's got like a really interesting streak in it that I really appreciate, and I might rewatch it soon. So I think that's my suggestion.
I guess going back to HBO, one of my favorites too is it's a very old cartoon, but it's kind of based in like, you know, the style of a bunch of 90s. I don't even want to say anime, but it's like, you know, an animated series called Spawn, and it's based off the
Tarmaphone Spawn. It's on HBO. It's very good.
Yeah, and it's the voice actor Keith David. He's probably one of my favorite like actors in general because his voice is just so.
He's iconic.
Yeah, you hear his voice and you know who it is, and it's just like he's got this like deep, soothing voice that even if he's a bad guy, it's just like I just want to hear everything this guy has to say.
Keith David has been in The Nice Guys. Keith David has played the president in Rick and Morty.
He was in Community before that too. I think that's where the connection comes from.
Oh, that would make sense.
He's for people who may not know, you know, a bunch of stuff. He's the voice of the villain in the Disney movie The Princess and the Frog. He is, I forget who that doctor's name is.
Oh, I never saw The Princess and the Frog.
Saw the end of it.
And then he's, for those who play video games, he's the voice of the Arbiter in Halo.
That's right, Halo 3.
And he's also the voice of Sergeant Foley in Modern Warfare 2. He's the guy who yells, "Ramirez!" That's him.
Oh. Interesting. I gotta go play Modern Warfare 2 again. Burger Town, baby.
So
Running around on the city streets and whatnot.
Oh,
that campaign is electric.
It's hot take. Modern Warfare 2 is the best Call of Duty of all time.
What's the survival mode? That is the survival mode too, right?
No, Modern Warfare 3 has the survival mode,
Yeah.
and it's
one
called.
with the Burger Town. You can
yeah.
remember.
I think
being
it's
in the
DLC. You can get it as you
It's
can be in Burger Town.
what the hell is the name of it? It's like their version of zombies, but there's like aliens. Yeah, Extinction. Extinction. That's the name of it. And I don't know what my favorite COD is. I think it probably is Black Ops 2 or 3, or one of the Black Ops 1, 2, or 3. I really like the one story. I just love the Vietnam
Infinite
thing.
Warfare.
What?
Mine is Infinite Warfare.
Really?
Yeah, I like the newer one.
I don't know why you're talking so quietly. You gotta speak up. You don't have a microphone right in front of your face. You gotta.
Also, Call of Duty Ghost, not as bad as people remember. I actually like the campaign of Ghost.
I just don't like how the first level is like a copy paste from the previous game.
Is
I
it
mean,
the
a
one
lot
where
of
the first level you're in space and you're shooting guns in space?
Yeah, you're fighting the
which is
Russians.
completely unbelievable and fantastical.
Well, I mean, in the game before that,
I
in
only
Black
like
Ops
games that
2,
are-
you're running on walls and shit. So
I only like games that are in real life.
I think
only
the
play
best
Sims.
campaign.
That's the only game I've
you like
played.
The Sims?
I've only played The Sims and
I think the best campaign in any Call of Duty game is probably World at War,
Oh,
Black
so
Ops, or Modern Warfare 3.
my favorite Call of Duty game is Call of Duty. Only I thought that was funny. I thought that was a good one. Continue with
Listen,
your...
they can't all be wins.
They can't, no.
They can't all be
Oh,
wins.
man. No, I just made myself... That's all that matters in my solipsistic existence is I'm making myself laugh.
We exist to serve. Will.
I like the old Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty 2, I played that, like, for the 360... Or was that 3? 2 or 3 I played.
I believe 4 was the 360. Modern Warfare.
No, there was one before it.
3 is the first one that Treyarch did. It wasn't very good, so you're probably thinking of 2.
2, yeah, I played 2. And 2 was pretty good. I don't know if it was on the original Xbox.
I mean, I was a zombies freak. Still am, as is Ryan. And so I played a lot of the Treyarch ones, World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3.
The most fun I ever had playing zombies was Black Ops, the original, when they brought out Ascension. That was the best Call of Duty zombie map, in my opinion.
Oh, I don't know if I have a favorite map. Ryan, do you have a favorite map? I gotta say Mob of the Dead. I'm sorry, that's just too perfect. Or Origins.
I was gonna say probably for me Origins, probably.
Do you remember back when before we could figure out Origins, how like the learning curve is so steep?
It's a very steep learning. Once you understand it,
Are we doing the Easter egg tonight?
I mean, I would do it tonight if you wanted to.
All right.
I got a little bit of work here tomorrow, but nothing.
All right.
But Origins, it's nice because you can play it casually enough that like it's still enjoyable. Like try to like make progress towards it, and then once you understand like the actual steps of the Easter egg, what needs to happen, it becomes like we can kind of do it in a routine.
Oh yeah.
But it's not. It's never the same exact run every time. We'll have times when we do it in like no time, and then there are other times where it's
round 25.
We forgot to do this step, or we forgot. To,
You know what always screws you is getting the G strikes.
Yeah, the switch.
The switch.
It's like one of like the electrical panels. When, like,
Oh,
if you
for the
miss-
electric
if you miss
staff?
One of them, and then you're like, all right, we gotta go
Running
find,
around,
like, which one
yeah.
it is.
For the electric
Is that
staff.
the Easter egg where you like go to like another dimension?
Yeah.
Yeah, it fades to
I
white.
enjoyed watching that.
It fades to white, and you're like a doll. You're being played with by Samantha.
I think
Might live stream that tonight.
I also like that. I also want us to get. I mean, like now we're kind of out of practice, so like maybe when busy season passes for me and like we have a little more time to get back into like the idea of doing like
Black Ops 3,
like
yeah.
like Shadows. Like I had that kind of
But we
down
need 4
up until
people.
the flag step for a minute there, and I'd have to get back into it.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I did it a couple of times on my own to the flag step, and then would like die there.
Yeah.
But,
I've gone to the flag step.
Yeah, the flag step is
Very difficult.
that's an interesting one.
You and I could do Horizon Drac within 3 days.
Yeah.
That's an easy one, and you don't need 4 people for it.
Yeah, I was just do we need 4 for what's the last map?
Revelations?
Yeah, do we need 4 for that?
I don't remember, but I will say to do Revelations, and you got to get like the complete Easter egg ending. You got to do the other maps first.
Yeah, that's why I say that, because like if we needed 4 on that, then we need to carry forward through
Yeah.
all of them probably, because like I think
The one that's going to give us problems is Gorod Crovey.
It's the same thing with like Black Ops 2, like trying to go through
The super Easter egg.
Yeah, that took a little bit of time to figure out. We had to redo Diorite or Transit.
Oh my
Remember that because someone's Wi-Fi like cut
Yeah,
out?
it was you, me, and
my Wi-Fi cut out. I kept leaving the match.
yeah. Remember we were in the bus, and you just like phased through the back
And
wall of the bus.
I'm like, guys, I'm in the menu right now. Like, I'm not in this game.
Oh man, that was
like,
tough.
joined
Yeah,
that
because
game.
you and I did the transit.
We just did it together just to get me the light on so that we could do the super Easter egg.
I was about to say we could redo the super Easter egg, but fuck the sharpshooter stab.
The very sharpshooter. That can just.
That was ridiculous.
It was like 4 hours. We were just like we just kept going.
Well, listen, we lost 2 hours there.
Sitting there waiting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you
But
know what's
in a good time.
one of the most difficult things I've ever done was in a video game is, I'm not sure if you guys are big into Halo, is Halo has the skulls that basically make the game harder if you turn them on. So you can be like, limited ammo. The enemies have like 10 times the amount of grenades.
Oh,
or
so they're just
something
like modifiers?
Oh yeah, so you can play with all skulls on, and it's like a lasso. It's like there's no real achievement to doing it. It's just like you say you do
Point
it.
of pride.
Oh yeah, I tried doing that for one mission, and I got halfway through the mission and I was like 3 hours into playing, and I remember getting progressing to a point where I was so excited. I was like, I'm gonna do it. And like the little grunt comes in with a suicide bomb, and he's got basically enough grenades to just like be a nuke. And it got to the point where, like, too, you don't even see your reticle. That's one, too, like, it takes your reticle off.
Oh, no.
So it's just a blank screen, and you're just kind of firing with a cloud, and you're just hoping that you're hitting something. And I'm like, at this point, all I have is, like, a pistol, so I'm, like, missing him completely.
Oh, no.
And he just runs up and just suicide bombs me. That's when I
realized.
realized...
Ryan, get the skull.
You get
Our Halo skull.
There you go. There's our skull. You got Ed Reed coming across the center. Just bam.
Oh my god! No, it wasn't Ed Reed. This was like freaking.
This
was Ronnie Lott in his prime.
Paul won't get mad if I touch this.
This is nine finger Ronnie Lott running at you.
So now Will is holding, as in the last episode,
the skull that
remainder of the Crystal Skull vodka, or just the bottle, because the bottle's
like
empty.
filled with peyote.
Skull.
I'm having lucid dreams of aliens.
The tall whites.
The tall whites and the grays.
The Kaminoans?
Orlando dropped points today on an unrelated
We
note.
love that.
I'm just
Go Revs.
They drew.
Game tomorrow's going to be sick. It's an early one. It's like a 6 o'clock kickoff.
Are they playing Orlando?
No, but they're like Orlando's kind of right behind. Well, one of the teams in like the
Yeah, I know
top.
that.
I hate to say right behind us because we're like 9 points clear.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a buffer.
We need Heel to come back.
Yeah.
I guess he's questionable for tomorrow. He hasn't been ruled out.
They kind of said it was a hernia, and then Bruce was on 98.5, and he was like,
He's fine.
he's okay. He'll be okay. We thought it was worse than it was. So.
I see the Revs are gonna win tomorrow.
Have you seen it?
Have
you seen it?
The Grays are going to land on the field and abduct the other team and send them to another dimension.
It's Philadelphia. I would love to see the Philadelphia Union get sent to another dimension.
Yeah, we'll be 7 points.
Shout on me. I love you.
You guys are,
I don't know the rest of the
lyrics. They're probably the best team in Massachusetts right now, considering the Red Sox decided to.
No, it's close, right?
The Red
Sox
decided
to.
They regressed to the mean. They were pitching out of their ass for the whole
they
first
need
half
Chris
of the season.
Back.
They do, and they need like somebody to go in there and they need Eck.
We need 10 inning baseball games.
Because it's not even getting fun to watch the Red Sox anymore.
We need to get 11 inning games.
200 games a season. Double hitters every day.
Oh.
7 TJ. What is this?
Well, I don't know if it was mentioned, but kind of late, but happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
That was a couple weeks ago. It's crazy that man just gets paid $1 million every year for nothing.
2035.
Imagine.
Oh my god.
What a smart man.
Well, it's really a lot of people were trying to say the Mets did it smart, but they just.
There were a lot of contracts.
We just finished paying off Manny.
I mean, that's the way the baseball contracts have gone because of the rules of the cap. Because like the baseball doesn't have a cap, but they have the luxury tax. So like you can kind of manipulate it, and they're back paying these guys crazy to get them off the books now.
Yeah.
Imagine how much they'd, for an example, Baltimore would have to pay to get Chris Davis off their payroll. Because he is probably the worst free agency signing.
The Cubs traded Rizzo. I'm pretty sure the Cubs are still paying Rizzo. Like, I don't think the Yankees are even paying him.
I don't want to talk about it. I was really excited to see him in a Red Sox uniform.
You're done with this, yeah?
Yeah, at least we're not Cubs fans, honestly. Shout out to Chicago.
Chirac.
The whole 2016
shout
team is gone.
Shout out to
There's nobody left.
Paul
Curtis.
Paul
Coitus. I've never met him. Is he still in Chicago?
Yeah, he's in Chicago. He's still in PCP, too. He's a good kid.
No. Like, I mean, I've never met him.
Hey, at least it's not 100 years
Yeah,
anymore.
I know he's still living in China.
You want to talk about stupid contracts? Look at what's going on in soccer right now.
You should not pay Messi.
PSG is going to have to, like, go back to,
mortgage the house.
Go to the oil and, like...
This is all we got.
They're going to have to pay...
France is going to...
No, let me give you my controversial take. Josh Allen is not worth $150 million guaranteed for 6 years. That is going to come back to...
aspect of it's fair. I think he's worth the money. If
he's not worth 230. Yeah, but guess what? Hey, it's a scrambling quarterback. Scrambling quarterbacks. I don't care how big they are. Scrambling. Look at Cam Newton. Scrambling quarterbacks do not last in the NFL. It's not going to happen.
You're going to scramble some eggs.
I don't know if I would say he's a scrambling quarterback as much as he's like a run and gun. Like Mahomes, like he's like Mahomes. they can run when they need to, but they also have an arm, like a cannon arm. That's kind of.
Josh Allen sometimes will.
He's a little bit more. He's a little bit
The
more
big
of the
thing
run.
the thing with him is
Listen, he got more discipline last year. I will
Yeah.
grant you. I think that the scheme is working,
well,
but
giving him
it just
Stephon
takes-
Diggs
Yeah,
also
but that-
helped
it
a
takes
lot.
one shitty decision, and I don't know that he has the best decision making. I think it could really. I'm
could
not
backfire.
saying it's going to. I said there's a strong possibility that it will. I think you'll look back and you'll say, "Damn, Paul." There's a strong chance you'll look back and say, "Damn, Paul was right."
Listen, I won't complain if you're right because that means Buffalo's out of the division.
I think
so.
I
True.
think
Let's go Miami.
Yeah.
I can't, dude. I
Oh,
Oh,
honestly,
we're gonna
Patriots,
fuck.
so-
We're gonna fuck up.
No.
Everybody.
The Jets are going 0-16.
Yeah.
0-17.
They're gonna get the
The
teeth.
Texans are going 0-17.
Pats are gonna have a field day.
If
No.
there's one team, if there's like a team, like the odds-on favorite to go 0-17, like if you got your money back, if no team did,
The
it's
Texans.
the Texans. They'd be like minus
They're
third round.
they're throwing out a JV team right now.
Has
going
Deshaun officially left the team or what?
No,
Yeah,
so
what's
the big
going
thing
on
with
with that?
Deshaun is because his legal problems won't
Because
be
he's a rapist.
Resolved. Won't be
Oh,
resolved.
His
So-
happy endings won't be resolved until probably next year.
So,
he
the
can-
rate thing happened after the contract dispute, right?
it came out during the middle of it.
No, he was talking about wanting to leave, and then all this shit dropped.
Yeah, that's a tough look. 'Cause you, like
That looks horrible.
it looks horrible, and also like
So that's why
you
he
know
wanted
you
to
know
leave.
if he left,
Yeah, I
that would
mean-
have come up. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
like these teams aren't like
They're not
stupid.
idiots.
They don't get blindsided that often. I say
Right.
that often. I think
Hernandez.
I think that was more of the Patriots thinking they could like change. Like I think that was like the Patriots thinking like self-righteous something.
Did you guys watch that documentary?
Yeah.
What I loved is that guy and his dad were like, I was the quarterback and he was the wide receiver. And I know people that live near that town where they played in Connecticut, and apparently that kid only played 2 games as quarterback his entire high school career. And I don't even think they were that close of friends. They just did that. That was the ultimate grift.
Yeah.
He went on there and just like told the world him and Aaron Hernandez were sleeping together, and then was paid a bunch of money by Netflix, and it turns out that is like not even close to what.
Oh, that was a lie?
Oh no, he was never the quarterback. Like he played 2 games, but it was like very limited minutes.
like end of the season, like throwaway game kind of stuff. Like
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it wasn't like the wide receiver and the quarterback.
No, but I'm saying, was he? Is it true or false that they were sleeping together?
I don't believe that.
That's
it's
the
true.
part that I care about. That's the only part that I care about.
If he didn't play, if he was lying about the quarterback thing, I think he was probably lying about the sacks.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, I want a ESPN 30 for 30 on is that Florida Gators team because that had
you need that.
Yeah.
Aaron Hernandez and had the 2 Pouncey twins who were big free Hernandez guys, and then one of them,
Marquise Pouncey.
well, actually Mike Pouncey, he played for the Dolphins. There was a giant bullying scandal. And the Dolphins organization for an offensive lineman, and he was one of the 2 guys who was kind of a ringleader. So
That doesn't shock me.
Speaking of offensive line, remember Richie Incognito?
That's what I was
He's
talking
still,
about.
no, he
So
still
that
plays.
was-
He's over in Vegas.
Yeah, because they were
both.
yeah,
he went to from Buffalo to Miami. I kind of like didn't.
Yeah, so
Richie Incognito.
I remember this. So he was a guard for us, and the guy he was bullying was a teammate who was an offensive tackle too, named Jonathan Martin, and Martin apparently just stormed off, and then he just threw everything out there, and apparently the Dolphins coach told Incognito, why don't you try and toughen him up a little bit, like, because let's be real, Incognito's still in the league. Jonathan Martin hasn't done shit. He got traded to the 49ers and got
And
cut.
just
he
fell
never-
into obscurity.
And then he threatened to shoot up a couple people too. Like he's
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Martin was not all the way there. But
Richie,
It's a CTE talking.
Oh
no,
my
Richie
God.
Incognito is such a specimen. Did you hear what he did at his what he was gonna do at his dad's funeral?
No.
He's gonna cut his dad's head off.
What?
Well, yeah, there's like a whole. I don't know the whole story, so I'm not gonna speak on it. But like Richie Incognito definitely has like
Sniffing the peyote.
4 or 5 screws loose.
Dude,
But
I might
anyway,
turn into Richie Incognito.
Yeah.
Have this sniffing this for a little while.
Oh jeez.
instead of Joker,
Oh,
it's
and he-
Richie Incognito, and he's played by Will.
Oh my god! And there's like
I'm
there's like
gonna
a video.
cut your head off, Dad.
Murray.
Murray, your head's gonna be severed
Like,
from your
he-
body at your funeral.
He
Murray.
took a like
you'll even know or care, Murray.
He took a baseball bat to his own Ferrari and stuff like this, and then
Trying to
Damn.
put in an insurance claim. That's great
yeah.
insurance.
And there's
fraud.
like a video of him like in a bar just
CT.
dropping the N word.
CT is a hell of a
Yeah.
drug, you know.
And then like he's calling the guy he's bullying, Jonathan Martin. He's calling him an half N word.
And
it's-
is this man white, Richard?
Richie Incognito
yes.
is as white as you are.
Oh my god.
That
Yeah.
was why he left Buffalo, right? Wasn't
No,
that,
it was because he left Miami.
I'll pull up a picture of Richie.
Oh, Richie Incognito.
And like he signed with Miami, and then he became a Pro Bowl guard, and then this all came out, and we just suspended him, and then we just cut him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's a
That
five-star.
guy saying the N word is terrifying.
He's a
If that guy said the gamer word, holy crap. If that guy said the gamer word, I'm getting my gun. I'm like, this guy.
and you know what's funny? That year he won the Good Guy Award, or I think the year before he won the Good Guy Award by the media. And basically, so Pouncey was a teammate of his, going back to the Florida team. So you had that. Speaking of another racist, you had Riley Cooper, Eagles legend, who dropped
Yeah.
the N-word a couple times at a Kenny Chesney concert. Then you had Tim Tebow as the
all these country heads.
Yeah. Tebow's the quarterback.
316 on his eye black.
Yeah,
jeez.
praying circles and whatnot.
Morgan Wallen was the kicker.
I was
that
about to
year.
say. Morgan Wallen stumbling into his Airbnb with cameras trained on him.
Screaming out the gamer word in a term of endearment. La la la. No one was black. He thought it was just joking around.
What's really interesting is
you get
that it
canceled
boosted
for
his
anything.
record sales. His streaming went up 5,000%.
You get
I
canceled
guess
for
there's
anything.
racists in Alabama who want to listen to his songs.
during the
Or
height of the
David-
One of them is in TIFF time. Really loves Morgan Wallen.
Well, actually, he was in trouble before that too. I'm not sure if you guys remember, like in the height of the pandemic, he went down to the University of Alabama and he had like he was seen partying with a couple people, making out with like 5 or 6 different girls and stuff like that.
They're all underage.
Exactly.
He's now on a list.
It makes me
He
wonder
needs-
if white women really like the gamer word.
He has to go door to door in every neighborhood, telling them about what he did and how he ended up being a stage 2 pedophile,
I like how that whole
registered
situation
sex offender.
is that he got in trouble, and still every white girl I know was posting his songs on Instagram.
You know, white women stand back and stand by.
That's what I've been saying.
All right?
People don't speak with their like that's like such a cliche like speak with your wallet term, like nobody actually like
I mean,
Nobody
I will say, out of the
it's fake outrage a lot of time.
I will say though, his incident in the grand scheme of things isn't as awful as other things.
There have been worse.
Yeah,
there have been worse. Definitely.
I think Michael Richards probably was worse.
He's
Also,
he's up
what
with
I
the
like
list.
is someone was filming him, like it was filmed on a door Ring camera.
Yeah, it wasn't like
It wasn't
like,
someone was filming him. It was the Ring camera.
make a
like-
hot mic in public.
Yeah, hot mic. I mean, it was kind of a weird. I'm not going to to say he didn't do anything wrong, but in the grand scheme of things, he could have done worse, definitely. And I think his apology was kind of shitty though. Him and Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan was like, "Why did you say it?" And he's like,
I'm sorry, what was Strahan like?
Strahan was like, "Why did you say it?"
Oh, don't. That's messed up, man. Don't do that.
Why we got Strahan calling him the Jabba line? What's going on?
I'm in the green room right now with Michael Strahan.
Strahan and I think Tom Jones are just chilling
Speaking
in the
of
green
ring,
room.
speaking of ring doorbells, was it Richard Sherman who got caught on it?
Oh,
Yes!
Oh my God, have you seen that?
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
that
he's
was awesome.
terrifying.
Frightening.
Absolutely mortifying.
Stanford educated goon
That's what a Stanford
attacks a
education does.
No, I do honestly like. There's no winners in that situation.
Nope.
Like, and I
It's a
love.
domestic. It's a
I
domestic.
love Sherman too, but like
You sure about that?
I
You
was,
can always
Have you
change
seen-
your
have you
answer.
seen- Have you seen the Frank Caliendo 30 for 30?
Oh my
I
god.
love Frank Caliendo.
Oh my God, he does. It's Richard Sherman, and he's doing all of like the NFL bits that he does. We'll watch it after this. It is
Yeah.
one of the funniest
I love
YouTube
his
videos.
I'll tell you what, man. That Gruden guy, he's got some good stuff, man.
His Gruden, he does the Gruden frequently. He does the Jaws.
Frank Caliendo, master impersonator.
One of the Belichick one too.
Oh yeah,
Have you
his
seen the
Belichick is
30
pretty
for,
good.
So he does a Belichick 30 for 30, and he's doing craft, and he's like, it's like he's playing the league, and everyone's playing checkers. He's playing like chess or some other game. And he has like the shoes on, like the Nike shoes on, the whole big
Driving the Bugatti.
You know, actually,
Getting a massage.
The Orchids of Asia.
The orchids of a. We went
I
down.
went to Jupiter, Florida
to
to
get-
visit the Orchids of Asia. I wanted to get a full body massage. I had to pay extra. I wanted a happy ending. My wife died and I'm old and lonely.
When they turned me over to finish me off, the feds busted in.
They
all
said they
saw
had a
my
camera
pecker.
on my dick. I now am on a list.
Remember when the discussion was like, would the video put
Oh my
evidence?
god,
I was
that
like,
thing,
oh.
that video needs to come out.
No,
Like,
they need to drop
you
the
know
rubber
what,
craft
You know what
tapes.
the thing was? Is like I remember going over my nana and my aunt's house, and my aunt was like, "Oh, he just paid to get it off." I'm like, "Betsy,
Get it off.
the
Yeah, he did.
Like she's like, he paid to like get that evidence excluded, and I'm like, you do know, right, that the video camera was of the front of the strip mall, and it can't be it has to be excluded because it violates like a bunch of people's right to privacy because it shows all the way down the strip mall. Like I'm pretty sure like the footage it shows nothing improprietous at all.
No,
it's
there's
just
footage of him in the room.
in the room. Oh, I thought they
I'm pretty sure, right?
I was under the impression that that's what they like. What the
That's
level
what they
of it was.
have.
I know, but there was some video I think I read that was of him entering and leaving the massage parlor, and that was
I
excluded.
really don't want to accidentally see a Robert Kraft sex tape.
I kind of want to see Robert Kraft getting jerked off. It would be kind of cool. I want to know if he wears his Air Forces.
You know who actually did a porn? Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, he did it to fund the screenplay for Rocky.
What?
Yeah.
Called The Italian Stallion was
That's
the name
awesome.
of is his character.
He's finishing. Adrian.
I kind of want to know. It does in the video of Robert Kraft.
Is he naked with just Air Forces on and white tube socks? White tube socks and white Air Forces.
What are we talking, mid calves or like all the way to the knee?
No, like let's say mid calves.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
mean,
Imagine
You know
that'd
who
be hilarious.
what was
He
it,
just comes out in the towel.
Still got the
I think
shoes on.
somebody actually.
Marvin, you're naked.
I think somebody hacked actually Dave Portnoy. Like he has a sex tape out.
Dude,
There's
he
a
has like
couple.
Oh,
seven
that was
of them.
bad.
Yeah.
That was.
I'm disgusted that I had to
newest
see that.
one is awful.
The
what
newest one.
Yeah, the newest one where he's
Oh my
like,
God.
he's
On
got
the
the
boat?
knee on the foot on the girl's neck.
What?
Yeah, no, it was
What are
that
you
the
talking
one?
about?
I'm talking about the. I don't know. Maybe I didn't see.
I
the-
saw one a few months ago where he had a dog collar. on.
Yes.
That's the one you're
No,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah, no,
and
no,
then
no,
he
okay.
spits on
Oh,
her?
yes, okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. I don't know why my mind went to like.
Oh my
You went to
God.
George Floyd, you fucking weirdo.
Oh my
Ew.
God.
Now you're making that sexual. Jesus Christ.
No, I'm not making. You talk about knee on neck.
No,
what else am I
said
supposed to think?
No, I thought I mistaken the dog collar for some other kink. He's a kinkster though. That
He is.
Portnoy. He's a kinkster. The dog collar, foot on the neck, tomato.
You had a picture of a girl on all fours with a dog collar around her neck, with a hand like this, shoving a black leather glove in her face.
Doesn't he? He like says something there too, and then he spits on her.
I'm not sure.
It's
I
very-
only watched like
There's some people who are just beyond being canceled. at
I
this
watched
point.
3
Yeah.
seconds of that, and I was like, nope.
They get better and
He's
better.
He's one of them because like
No, I just like how his
You know-
sex tapes get progressively like more extreme.
It's like it's a side thing for him.
Next thing you know, he's gonna be wearing one of those like a ghillie suit.
He's gonna dress up like a furry and go to PJ's Wolf Sanctuary. He's gonna sneak
Hey, and you know
in.
what? One bite, you all know the rules.
The,
Yeah.
the dude, it's the Dave Portnoy's newest sex tape, and it's him with the furry head off, like messing around with the wolves. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what that would do to his brand? Like, if you think the other sex tapes elevated him, the world would like that guy.
Okay.
He would have to go away.
Remember when Barstool used to be not just a merch machine?
Yeah.
I remember.
Remember the Barstool Blackout tour? That was a bit before.
Yeah,
You probably would remember it.
Yeah, I remember.
I never went to one, but it was
No,
around.
I mean we were like
Yeah.
12.
Going back to what you said though, there's only 2 celebrities I can think of where like a sex tape has either like lifted their career or just made that's what they're known for now. Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian.
They definitely elevated the two of them.
I think that's how I knew who Kim Kardashian was, because everybody's saying like, oh, she has a sex tape. I'm like, who the fuck is she?
And now I have Raycons. Make that make sense.
Dude, was she in the Reggie Bush one too?
No, this is Ray J.
Yeah, I know, but there was
That's
a
why I have
Reggie Bush
Ray-
sex tape, right?
No.
No.
I hit it, 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 I hit it.
Because I know the
first.
Ray J one, but also like
Paris Hilton just said that's hot.
no, I thought Reggie Bush and Kim Kardashian
They dated for a
they
while.
dated. Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I knew about. I thought she had 2 sex tapes. Dave Portnoy has 3. Apparently, I don't know. The next one he's gonna be a furry. I don't know.
The internet is quick on these things.
There's a couple of celebrities who you don't even know have sex tapes that are just like out there.
The Tommy Lee one is hilarious. It's like him and Pamela Anderson on the boat, and they're just drunk, and like Lake Tahoe.
What?
Yeah, and like
You didn't know Pamela? That was like a widely circulated
No, I didn't
sex
know
tape.
Tommy Lee Jones was in it.
No, Tommy Lee.
Oh.
Tommy Lee.
Not Tommy Lee Jones. Different Tommy Lee.
That'd be a...
Tommy Lee is in, what is he, fucking Metallica or something?
No, he's in Molly because the drummer for Molly Crew.
Oh, I don't give a
okay,
fuck.
okay.
I don't know. They're
Yeah,
all
I
the
don't
same.
care either.
Gene
I just don't-
Simmons apparently has one.
I don't need to see that.
Michael Douglas has one.
Michael Douglas
Michael
in the
Douglas.
Marianas
Yeah,
Trench.
it takes place
Oh.
in the Marianas Trench.
Oh, you know...
It's the name of
So-
it.
That's
The
actually
famous-
just Catherine Zeta-Jones' Snatch.
Yeah.
That's what he calls it.
The comedian, The Machine. I opened Twitter one day.
Is that Bert Kreischer?
Yeah. I opened Twitter one day and he's trending, and I click up to find out why.
Because he tried to dunk and he snapped his arm.
No, it's because somebody posted basically
That was
body
Tom Segura.
confidence, whatever, blah blah blah, and he just I'm gonna fucking do this. So he posted a picture of his balls on Twitter, like on his personal account, and he was trending for it.
That's interesting.
So
I mean, Eric Andre posts pictures of his penis all the time on Instagram.
Eric Andre had a fucking intern put his balls in Steve Shrippa's marinara sauce.
Eric
That
Andre
shows
is
a
such a
trip,
weird dude.
Do.
Who ordered a pizza ball?
Time to deliver the pizza ball.
Let me in. Let me in.
Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that. Ranch it up.
Now my orders are your court. Order.
I've lost the job at Fruit Loops. My body is your communion.
On Safety Stegosaurus. Some garbage is okay to eat.
Hey, Amber, it's me, Dusky. Wah! And he's bashing it with the bat.
Are you a boat?
I like when he breaks the jewelry display and then goes, "Fuck!
I'm
the
not
third
going to
time.
jail.
I'm not going to jail."
Talk to the security guard.
Talk to the security guard.
The one when he goes in with the guy, he's on the guy's shoulders in the trench coat bit to the car. He's like,
Yeah.
I'd like to buy a car, please.
Or
The octopus.
they run up on that lady in the parking lot and they're like, "How do you respond, ma'am? How do you respond to the accusations?" And Hannibal comes up as the lawyer.
I'm Lawyer Hannibal. Look at my suit. It shows his law ad. It's like Hannibal Buress and the quote under his "Look at my suit."
He's Eric Andre reminds me a lot of what's the guy who's on he reminds me a lot of Filthy Frank.
Yeah, I can see that.
But he had to stop doing what he was doing because of health problems, and he was just getting tired of it though.
Pink guy was electric.
Yeah, dude. They took the KKK when after Charlottesville, he had this song that was kind of racist on the Pink Eye album, and obviously it was a joke, but the name of the song was racist, so they actually took it off of Spotify.
Ooh.
It got caught up in the net of things they took off of Spotify. a bunch of like hip hop songs get just like literally just like whole albums of hip hop were like removed from Spotify because they had like Robert E. Lee's name in them and shit. Like Spotify was just like we're just casting
all of these.
we're just yanking everything in like one of Pink Eye's songs, but someone asked him like in an AMA or something if he was trying to get it back, and he was like, nah, like obviously like it got picked up, like I don't really give a fuck, and I also don't give a fuck about this anymore because I'm making millions of dollars being an actual musician and not like some guy in like a pink costume.
I'm sorry, but the Donald Trump rap is the
Donald
best.
Trump. I'm voting for Donald Trump. Dude,
Let me see that ass,
Yes,
Donnie.
Donnie. That's awesome.
I just want to feel your pulse.
But real talk, what is it with every goddamn YouTuber being a creep nowadays? Or being exposed for some really creepy ass crap?
Something tells me you were really upset when EDP got exposed.
No, I was just like, you're disgusting. I'm talking just like every time I'm
waiting for urinating tree to get exposed.
Oh, I like urinating tree though.
I mean, he's a yinzer, so fuck him. He doesn't have any rights. Throw him in Abu Ghraib. Throw some fucking throw a car battery on his nipples.
What sort of like rabbinical language are you speaking
Like,
right now?
Urinating tree?
No,
He's
no,
a YouTuber.
Yeah, but what is he? I've only heard the name.
He's a yinzer. He's a Steelers fan. He posts like draft breakdowns for the major sports and does a lot of stuff with the NFL, like breaking down each game. And he's like a commentator, but a YouTube personality. And he's a yinzer again, so he doesn't have any rights. I'm just saying, send him to Gitmo. We are going to close Gitmo, but we're going to throw yinzers in there.
But it's just like
all of them.
Fuck
the Steelers.
Every time I open up YouTube, it's just like this person got exposed for something, or this person got exposed, and this person's a predator, this person's a predator.
There's a lot of them getting exposed.
Yeah, like some of the bigger names too, like Shane Dawson, who has always been a creep, but like he's just getting called out on even more shit that's just creepy. James Charles, who's also a creep, Jeffree Star, all these big names.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's like anybody.
I'm pointing at Ryan right now about Jeffree Star. I called that one from a mile away. I told your girlfriend, what are you doing buying his makeup? I told you. I said, you remember this?
Yeah.
You didn't listen to me. I told you he was a pedophile. He was grooming you.
It comes with the territory of being a YouTuber, I guess.
And then, actually, there's like...
That's why if this podcast gets big, I don't know who's going to be... Probably Aiden. Aiden will probably be the one if this podcast gets big.
Oh my god.
We'll have to bring in like a fake person, like have somebody do a personality and then have that personality get canceled. There we go.
And then what was it? Yeah, like
it is safest if you never see my face.
A bunch of video game YouTubers are like getting called out for doing really shady shit. Like there's that Call Me Carson guy who got called out. There's Mini Lad, and then a big one too was, and one that hit me because I used to watch them when I was like an early teen, was Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter, and they had a guy who was a big personality. His name was Ryan Haywood.
Yeah, Ryan, dude, I got the Google. There was a Google Docs filled with his nudes that was being like sent around the internet.
And he was like, he's married and has kids, but like he was
doing this on the side.
He was staying at events and like sleeping with fans, and like he would be lying about why he'd always need like an extra day in a hotel or stuff like that.
Dude, he was trying to fly 18-year-old girls from California to Texas or something like that.
It's just like, and like exactly like how
can't be crossing state lines. Can't do it.
I will admit, Reddit did let me see a picture of his manhood. And I didn't ask for it.
You saw Haywood's Haywood?
Yeah, it was very, like, someone was posting in this. So my friend sent me the story because a friend of mine in college, one of my roommates, in my senior year of college, he would just put Rooster Teeth on, like, gameplay. And, sometimes we would watch it, and I got to know some of the people. So one of my friends from law school who actually went to the Achievement Hunters, like, place and like met some of them and stuff, he sent me the Reddit post, but he said but he forgot to tell me don't go too far or there's like a bunch of NSFW shit, and I went way too far, and people were posting the nudes because that's what you just do.
That's Reddit. That's Reddit for you.
That's Reddit for you.
They're like, look at this like other article here, and then it's like when
there's the nude. It's like when Aiden sent me to r/cartel footage in the first video, so I was a man getting his face burned off. Because that's really what I wanted to see at 8 o'clock at night, was some cartel violence. So that's just Reddit.
You be careful on Reddit.
Yeah,
sometimes.
you can
go down. You can go down some holes.
Yeah.
Someone I lived with when I was a junior in college. You would know who this one is. Tyler's roommate.
Yeah.
Josh's roommate is the Instagram
Yeah.
you to show me.
Yeah.
Tyler's roommate.
Yeah.
Trouble.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Tyler's roommate showed me a video of a Chinese oil rig, I assume, some kind of fabricator of some sort.
Some machination.
Some machinist.
Some sort of communist
What are the
machination.
islands?
Some machine. Yeah, it looked like he was on an oil rig. And this guy, like, looks over into an exhaust pipe of some kind. And there's a blast of fire, and he just disintegrates. And I have never recovered from being shown this. It was haunting. And he's like, hey, just look at this. And I'm like, I can't sleep. I can't go to bed.
Yeah.
Reddit's nuts.
You could.
What was that on r/people die or
I
whatever?
don't know.
Well, like, dude, the
there's
problem
He
that
literally
some-
just went, it was like this. Hey, look at this. And then he
of
put his
course
phone
he
down.
did. That guy's crazy.
Yeah, he was a fucking crazy individual.
There's
Is
some
that the one that
Reddits
was
out there
the,
that are like.
of the guy who was on TikTok who was going viral because he just killed himself right on TikTok and like people were just sharing it all over the place?
Oh,
What?
Yeah, the guy I don't.
that was
remember-
still up for a while, right? That was up for like 12 hours.
Yeah, that was up for a solid amount of time. It got shared quite a lot. Well, let's move on to something positive.
What about Juventus women? Let's talk about Juventus women. That's
Why
a
do you let
positive
that
topic.
hang out for 20 minutes, huh? Look at this, PJ. I'll show you this. Juventus women. The sacred texts.
That was the big racism. Not the little racism, the big racism. I like how they said it wasn't meant to be racist, but clearly that's like a racist.
I mean, I don't want to make broad, generalizing statements.
This is what they
Italian soccer
tweeted this.
fans
It was live for
are
20
not
minutes.
the most progressive
On
people
what?
in the world.
This was live for 20 minutes.
I don't think soccer fans are progressive, generally speaking, in
This is
Europe.
true too in Europe and honestly in America too. So like in the Americas.
She's pulling her eyes back. And it's the fucking emoji with the fingers. Like, what
No,
are we
I think
doing
it's
here?
the hat that does it for me.
That's a
She's
that's
wearing
a
a
cone.
well, it's a
It's a
training cone, but it becomes
the patty hat, like that
Yes.
stereotype image, and it's just like
What's
you did
what's
one-
equally as
one-
crazy is that
one-
this was posted from Hootsuite.
one
So
or
5
the
people
other.
got to see it and okayed it to be sent away to Twitter.
Wow.
You know there's a racist executive who should
That's what
probably
I'm saying.
lose his job, but they're just going to fire the intern who wanted to get a marketing job.
Soccer fans, like, I don't want to say as a general body. As a general body, they're pretty progressive, but there are like very fringe groups at a lot of teams that are like hardcore.
I would say generally,
Especially in Europe, like
yeah.
very like
Well, I think it's tied to their like nationality and their national identity. So they acting. I know the Indonesian soccer league is known for being extremely violent. I know me and you discussed this, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually like the one decent thing I think Vice has done in the last 10 years of any worthy note is they actually went to Jakarta and did a little documentary about the Jakarta like soccer team and the fans and stuff, and like one of them was actually killed at an away game, and the players have to go to games if they're playing their rivals like in like armored vehicles that are
Transports.
like transports
Yeah.
like landing on D-Day with like bomb-proof, like tires and shit, and the military has to follow them around because the
Crazy.
fans are so violent, and they'll kill the players. Like they want, it's not just like I hate A-Rod or like when Derek Jeter played for the Yankees, it was like fuck Derek Jeter. This is like I want to physically harm the person on the other team
or the
because
fan of the other team. It
Yeah.
is like
yeah, it's very crazy. It means a lot to these people.
When you don't have access to clean water and your government's a lie, what you have to do is have open hostilities with other grown men about a fucking sport where they kick around a soccer ball and try to put it in the net.
It is bad though.
And
It
it's
is
all
like,
of your personal achievements are based around this group of people that don't care about you.
Like Central Europe.
This sounds a lot like America.
And baseball, if you're Shawnee O.
Oh man.
Central Europe.
Fuck the Yankees and the
like very,
Marlins.
The Marlins?
And the Orioles. I don't know.
I don't think.
We like Tampa, though. I don't really know why.
Here's the funny thing about the Florida Marlins. They've made the playoffs 3
They're
times.
the Miami Marlins.
Aren't they? Are they owned by A-Rod? Is that the one?
Really?
No,
It's
they're
Derek
owned by
Jeter.
Jeter.
Oh, that's why I said fuck
Derek,
the Marlins. then.
Derek Jeter.
They-
Derek.
No,
They made the
Jeter's
playoffs.
straight. We're okay with
He hit him with the roids.
A-Rod, no.
He was
Him and A-Rod aren't really
juicing.
friends. I think they had some sort of sexual relationship, and it not.
And that's
didn't
why
end
J-Lo
well.
left A-Rod.
Remember they were the Tampa Bay Devil Rays?
Oh my god,
Remember
those
that- remember
uniforms
that
were beautiful.
existence?
Yeah.
Those
Okay.
uniforms.
Oh, we can talk about great throwback uniforms. I think the Chargers have one of
They're
the best
getting
throwback
rid of the one
uniforms.
helmet policy soon.
I know.
Yes!
Let's get pumped for throwback jerseys.
Yes!
I mean,
Powder
I mean,
blue.
they already make them. Like
Yeah.
the Patriots sell the red ones, but like they're actually gonna be able to wear
Powder blue
the
Chargers.
best. That's what I was about to say. Powder blue
Yeah.
Chargers are up there.
I actually like their color rush, that blue with the hollow
The dark-
lightning bolt on the... Yeah, I
So-
really like that look.
I actually, one of my favorite. I mean, the Chargers just have great like uniforms. One of my favorites though is actually like the LT era Chargers uni.
The
Where it was,
double
like-
on the
where it was like
shoulders.
the dark blue helmet, dark blue colors, and it was like the gold lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Um,
sneaky blue, like the
and I'm
blue,
gonna
the
be
bright
biased.
blue, like Broncos. Like
and
that,
then,
like,
yeah, I'm gonna be biased here too. I think Miami has like amazing throwbacks.
Well, I mean, you got the
any
Dolphin with the
any of
helmet, like
NFL teams that are like old AFL
Yeah.
teams. Like there's some
Like,
nice uniforms.
the
back
Houston
then.
Oilers.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
The
And they're gonna
Oilers
be able to
powder
bring
blue?
those back. The
Yes,
Titans,
dude.
the Titans are gonna be able to bring those
Good,
back.
good. I have
I
to
like
say,
Pat
the
Patriot.
Bruins should bring back the Pooh Bear jersey from the late 90s. You know, I learned why they can't use it, why they didn't use it for the reverse retro.
Why?
It turns out
Is it like copywritten or something?
it was, I don't remember who, but someone in the organization, they needed to submit a third jersey, and they didn't have any ideas. And someone in the organization went golfing at a golf course in Florida, whose mascot on their flag is that bear. They paid $1,000 for the rights for like a 5-year contract or whatever, and then immediately lost the license. And now they want extra money because they want to keep open their golf course.
I'm a big
It's
fan
probably
of,
owned by Trump.
So what do you think the Washington's going to be then, your football team, man?
I think they
Football
should.
team is gonna keep
I
it.
think they should
No,
keep the
next
Washington
year.
football
They're
team.
keeping it for this year, but next year they announced they're making a finals.
I think that's
I
stupid.
think they should
I like
be-
the
I think
Washington
the-
football
I think
team.
the football team just should be like.
I think they should be called the Washington Pedophiles because there are so many in the area.
Like Ron Rivera.
And Bob Menendez from New Jersey, and Matt Gates from Florida, and Bill Clinton, or they should be the.
not a pedophile.
Who?
Ron Rivera.
Wasn't he getting? Wasn't he the one? Oh, not Riverboat Ron.
Oh
no,
my God.
no,
Rivera.
no, 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 no.
Liable.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Rivera.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I want to.
If you're listening,
I want to extend a personal. I want to extend a personal apology to Ron Rivera. You have survived cancer. I love what you're doing.
He also
won't survive this
he also
podcast.
I
tricked
meant
his team
Dan
for not
Snyder.
being vaccinated.
I meant Dan Snyder.
Yes,
I'm
you are
so
correct with Dan
sorry.
Snyder.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Good catch. I did not mean
I
to
was gonna say-
Riverboat Ron is the fucking man. I
My
would
whole
never.
view of that name just changed in a moment. I was like,
I
need
meant to
Google
say
this.
Al Roker. I just like accusing people of having sex with children.
Sacrificing them to the owl
God
demon Moloch.
is what I think they should do.
I will say
Washington
I won't be Washington.
Oh.
I like the idea of they were
make
going to
them-
do like the Washington Sentinels. I think that sounds kind of cool.
Washington Senators.
Eh.
Wasn't there a Washington Senators at one point? Wasn't that the baseball team?
Yeah, it was. It was the
Did you see
Nationals.
there was some?
and
Did
the
you see there was
Senators.
some team like I think they're roller derby maybe in Cleveland. Some team in Cleveland already is the Cleveland Guardians.
Oh no.
Oh,
They're gonna get
Oh,
paid.
man.
They're
They're
gonna
like-
get paid.
They like launched like they weren't really selling that much merch, and since the announcement that they're gonna be the Indians are gonna become the Guardians, they're like we're selling shirts, we're selling hats, we're like for their team to try to see if they
Can we start a bowling team?
I mean, we can.
We should be called the Washington Pedophiles. I
No.
really like that.
I wanted.
name.
I actually have always. I tried to do one when I was at college. I tried to start a bowling team when I was a senior.
I'm actually a very good bowler.
Then what the fuck are we waiting for?
we're waiting for a team name, and we're not going to be the Washington name redacted.
We're going to be the Palm Springs Epsteins.
The Lolita Express.
The Lolita Express. That would be an awesome bowling league name.
That would be a great name.
That would be that's like naming your fantasy football team the Orchids of Asia.
Yeah.
I mean, I like my fantasy football team name. For those wondering, it'll be What'll You Do for a Klondike Bar.
You always have some very inventive names.
You know, if I'm going to suck in the playoffs, because this is my problem. I'm like Ron Rivera. I make it to the dance, but I can't finish. I'm always one of the best teams in the regular season, and then I just can't.
Well, I don't know if I would say the Washington football team was one of the best teams in the regular season.
Great programming here.
No, this...
Oh my
God! What? I was watching... Okay, for context... 804, which is CBS, has been on since the St. Jude Invitational was on earlier, right? And then Jeopardy was on, and now it's... Look at this! That guy looks like... looks like the guy from the kid from The Sopranos.
I can't remember. He looks like
AJ from The Sopranos,
AJ.
yeah.
He went to her apartment... And crime was committed.
No.
I can't say what it was because I'll get canceled.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up.
All right, so
Works for me.
closing thoughts.
Yes, plug your shit. Tell final thoughts, whatever. You know, you get the floor.
Tua Tagovailoa, top 10 quarterback this year. I'm calling it.
It's number 2 Alabama quarterback in the NFC East. Changed my mind.
You shut your goddamn mouth.
Mac Jones, the future.
Ryan,
Mac
final?
Daddy was the third stringer. Shut your whore mouth.
MJ 10 for the win.
No, it's
That's
Follow
yours.
me on
That's your.
Instagram.
All the
It's
MJ
at
10 diet.
Moloch666.
It is Tua time in Miami.
Will, do you have any more unhinged rants you want to get out of you before we leave?
Dude, I think Miami's gonna be swallowed by the Atlantic Ocean, and the Dolphins won't have a season.
No, the Dolphins will just be actual Dolphins.
And then Moloch will come out of the Marianas Trench and destroy the world.
All right, we got to get him home.
And kill Mac Jones, so nothing that they say will ever happen. Mac Jones will be the only person taken out by Moloch.
And they all lived happily ever
Can't wait for
after.
16 games.
Thank you for coming out to the conversation pit. Yeah, I know it's gonna suck, but
Moloch
hey,
for
at least we
president.
got that dual threat situation with the tight end.
Final score, game 1, 28-24 Miami.
Matt
I would
Gates
take
2024, everybody.
I'm betting
Matt
Miami,
Gates,
whatever
I'm
points
throwing
they're
my
giving
hat
me.
in for Matt
I
Gates.
think it'll be minus 13.5. I'm taking Miami.
I'm taking Matt Gates for president 2024.
I'm taking Adam Gates.
His VP is going to be the Seminole County tax collector that he...
Alan Greenberg.
Alan Greenberg. No one needs to know his name.
I'm taking Stormy Daniels 2024.
Okay, now I'm
Michael
definitely
Avenatti.